What do you do? What do you do on an overcast, cool day besides watch your dog take another crap? Oh, here we are, everybody. You know, so many things to do. And I got to get on the road and go live behind the wheel of a car. But, you know, you look at my collection. What do I drive today? What do I drive today on an overcast day? And part of me says I should drive the Plum Crazy. The Plum Crazy is such a nice car, and it has adaptive cruise control on it, so I don't know why I wouldn't drive that. I think I'm going to drive that today, everybody. I think I'm going to change it up. I've been driving trucks a lot, and even though it's tempting to drive the Lightning, but you know, the Plum Crazy doesn't get a lot of attention. It does sit more than gets driven, so I think that I'm going to take the Plum Crazy out and go take care of some business. How about that idea? Now, it wasn't so many years ago that I would literally be jumping on my motorcycle to go work. I mean, you go 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I would literally be jumping on my motorcycle to go work around the D.C., Maryland, Virginia Beltway. You know, today, no thank you. People are even crazier than ever. So what we're going to do here is we're going to have to pull the charger out. And I got to set this thing up to work out of, get some of my tools and other things to enable me to be able to, we got a few things back here, so that's pretty good. So yeah, so I got to first move some things around, and let's take the charger for a spin. And listen to that rumble. It's always about the rumble, isn't it? Let's get inside the car here, get her started up. How much fuel do I have in her? And decent amount of fuel. Got my fast pass, got my barn door opener, and I got all that good stuff here. So now where the doggies go, they're down there playing. But I just got to load a few things up, and then we'll get on the road to drive over an hour away. So I've got about today, about 2.5, 3 hours worth of just driving time in the Plum Crazy. And it's pretty incredible how this is such one of my favorite cars. Back when these cars first came out, I was so wanting this car because it's such a practical car. Hard to believe that we took this car to Florida, and it's just hard to believe that this has been in Florida, if you know what I mean by that. But anyways, in the USB connectors don't work. It's so funny. I was telling the Dodge dealer to be looking at the oh, this is so funny. My Ram truck. Just give you an example. This Ram truck key is from last June. Whenever we took this down to Florida last spring, I think a year ago, we put this extra key. I always take an extra key in each car. And it's incredible on how this has been in that car for over a year. Isn't that something? Wow. You gotta close the doors. Dog's kind of getting into the routine of the doors. Gotta give him some water. And, you know, danger for me is I have to lock this barn down because it's just Murphy's Law. If some signal opened this barn door up and I'm gone today, it would be a fiasco. It'd be a fiasco because the dogs would be running loose. And I would have no idea that that's going on as I'm gone. And then Gypsy, no doubt in my mind, she would be out in the road. And it would be very dangerous. So now, what do they have to chew on? Because they constantly want to chew on something. And if they're not chewing on something, then they're destroying something else. So now I got to go through pick through here. These water bottles keep them happy. That's usually what I do. Got water bottles, and that keeps them kind of entertained. So hopefully a few of those things there. Now Willy Pilly's funny. I put the other dogs in the house just because of I don't want them to get out. There, Willie. There, Will. Will, come here. No. Stay there. Stay there. Where, Will? Where, Will? Well, I'm not going to fight it. Yeah. All right, let me lock this down now so I can get that screwdriver in there. All right, I think they're all locked down. That's the goal, because once again, there's no doubt in my mind if that door was to open, it'd be a fiasco. So that's the routine of the dog kennel for the Iceman as he gets into the Plum Crazy and rides around today. And I've done so many reviews on these cars. I mean, what do I talk about? All right, let's get into Super B. Danger of the fast cars is just that. They're fast cars. And in this area, people get all lit up wanting to race you and everything else. And that can be a problem because you get yourself into a lot of trouble around here. How do I know all that, right? How do I know? Yeah. All right, time to get on the road, and the steering is heavy in this car. It's interesting how the steering feels so heavy. And I tell you, man, as I get older in life, just hard to believe. It is already the end of the month. I mean, the bill, you know as well as I do, you can't make enough damn money fast enough to pay all the damn bills that show up every damn all day and month long. It's just, yeah. I mean, it's the end of the freaking month, everybody. And we're now into the 6th month, half a year. My ears are got a popping, so I'm again funky. Look at my face, but I mean, it's just incredible. It's already 6 months in. So right now, this car is not in the performance mode, just because I don't want performance mode, because then I'll just leave it in the lazy mode as I get up here on the road. Get out on the road as I follow the, yeah, that guy lives down the dirt roads. That's a guy who lives down these gravel roads. And oh man, these heavy rains, it's the worst. That stuff turns into concrete. And that stuff's tough. I mean, that's one thing. So many years ago, my wife and I could have moved. I could have moved. I mean, there's so many things I could have done, but I didn't do. And I've been a whole different life. Because I would have paid everything off. And I would have outright owned my home from day one. And it just would have been a different world. And I don't know if I would have gone crazy. First of all, the wife's on the loan of the home, so she would not let me start borrowing money out of the home to do stupid things. There's a lot of people that outright own their home, and then they start going out and borrowing money against the home. They get themselves in big trouble. And for my wife, she'd be like, no. She'd be like, no way. Her foot would be down on that. I was like, no, you're not taking money out to go buy cars and trucks. Like, no. We took money out of the home to renovate the home. So that's one thing. But that was money reinvested back into the property, not me going out and buying cars and toys and trucks. So that'd have been a whole different life, because I would have had debts paid off very early, and I probably gone a different direction in the industry that I'm in, because I would have had more leeway to do other things without the constant burden of having to pay for a house. You know, that's what's so challenging, is everybody knows your housing costs are what get you. And anymore, between the real estate tax and the personal property tax and your electric bill, your maintenance, your home insurance, I mean, that can be conservative. $2,000 a month, conservative. If you have a nice home, that's going to be at least $2,000, about $3,000 a month, just to pay the real estate taxes, to pay the electric bill, and just to minimally maintain it. On the main road here, and yeah, this is the first day. Well, I don't know, it didn't rain much other day, but today it's still overcast. And but next week it's into, I think, the 80s and maybe 90s. So next week it's going to be a whole new look in shorts and sandals or Crocs or whatever you want to call it. That guy has kept that thing going. Even for me, I'm amazed he kept that thing going. That's a tough business. I mean, until you do it, you just don't get it. But here we are and the Dodge Charger. And yeah, I can program this thing into the drive mode, so I can do that. But then it kind of takes away from fuel economy. Let's see what type of fuel economy. So 0 to 60, my best time is 4.2 seconds. It's not too shabby for me, not really practicing that much. But I mean, that's pretty damn good. Even for me, I'm like, wow, I accomplished that. So that's not bad. I mean, I'd be willing to bet on my Hellcats that wouldn't be much better because it busts loose so much. So adaptive cruise, that's on. And then we've got 20 miles per gallon. So let's just hit reset right now. And let's just see if I don't drive this thing too haphazardly, what it plays out to do today for us on the fuel economy. And we'll go to another screen up here. Go to the speedometer, and let's see here. There you go. Got speedo in front of me, and like I say, this has adaptive cruise. But if you're not really knowing this car, you don't understand how to set it, because this is adaptive, this is not adaptive. And I've talked about this car. I mean, the thing about this car, it's crazy to think how many Dodge Chargers I've had. I'm just going to count since 2005. I think 2005 was my first Dodge Charger, a silver one. But then I eventually got an SRT8 B5 blue one in 2008. So that was my second one. And then I went through financial havoc. And it wasn't until then, 2016, that I got my Hellcat. Well, no, 2015, I got another blue, a B5 blue SRT Dodge Charger adaptive, much like this car here, but it was the blue with the technology. I think I had a sunroof. I special ordered that car. And so that was my third Charger. Then I ordered, well, in the meantime, I was on the waiting list to order the brand new Hellcat Charger, because that was released a year later after the Challenger. Realize it or not, it was a year delay for the Charger from the Challenger. So then I got a 2016. It's hard to believe it. It's now 11 years ago, if I'm correct. Was the first model year, I guess 2015 or 10 years ago, that the Hellcats were starting to be built and produced. I think so. That's hard to believe. So that was my third, and then the fourth was my red line, or whatever you call that color back then, Dodge Charger Hellcat that I got, I think, in the fall of 2000, or I just can't remember. No, it's the winter. It came in the winter of like January, all covered up in from the road salt and snow from being transported. So that then would have been what? My fourth Hellcat, my fourth Dodge Charger. So then, I'm just trying to think out loud. I think then from that, I picked up a white Dodge Charger Hellcat. That was number 5 with pinstripes on it. And then I picked up the Frostbite Blue Dodge Charger Red Eye. I think that was number 6. Does that sound right? Am I keeping track here? 3, and then 4, 5. Yeah, 6. And then this one here would be number 7. I think I'm pretty accurate on that. So I think that I got that right. So 7 Dodge Chargers since 2005, which that's nothing radical. But then you go to the Dodge Challenger. So the Challenger, I got the Patriot, the Jazz Blue. So once again, back in 2008-9, they brought the Challenger into the marketplace, but I wasn't in financial position to buy one. So then I didn't get my first Dodge Challenger. Well, I got my first Dodge Challenger, was a Plum Crazy RT package with the 5.7 Hemi motor. And that little thing was fast. That was like 2014. So then Julia loved that car. She was in tears when I got rid of that car. That was her favorite car. Chrome wheels. I used to pick her up at school. I traded that for the B5 blue Dodge Charger I ordered, but I had another Challenger on order to replace that. So now, or maybe I had it. I think I did have it at that time, but whatever. So that was one, and then my SRT Jazz Blue 2015 was number 2. Then my Plum Crazy Hellcat 2016 model came in the fall of 2015, so that was number 3. Then I sold that, and I picked up an Octane Red, I guess it was. So what's that make that? 1, 2, 3. That was number 4. Octane Red. So then I kept that, and then eventually I got rid of that. So 1, 2, right? So that's that's 4, right? Yeah, 4 Challengers. Then after that, we picked up the Gold Rush TA package for kind of like Julia. So does that make that 5? Am I keeping track, everybody? Plum Crazy, 2 Plum Crazies, Jazz Blue 3, Octane 4, and then the why'd it go the other way? And then the Gold Rush 5 TA package. Then I got rid of that, and then we bought the Smoke Show Challenger. That's 6. And then I bought it back. If you remember that. But number 6. And then I think the Gold Rush that's in the garage, the shop, 7. Isn't that interesting? So I have a tie. Does that sound right? So did I say 7 Chargers? Yeah, 7 Chargers. But the difference is I had 2 Chargers back in the 2000 years, back in 5 and 8. So yeah, so I guess that's right. Wow, 7 for 7. Never ever owned one of them. But here I'm thinking out loud now, did I count this damn Charger? Yeah, now I got to redo it all over again. I can't think correctly, everybody. Driving on the road and trying to keep an eye on everything else and doing this. So 2 in that year, and then the B5 3, Redline 4. That was 4. The Frostbite Blue was 5. Then this would be 6. I'm missing something. 2 in the 2000 years, and then I had 2 more from the B5 Blue to the Redline, so that's 4. And then, the white went 5, and then the Frostbite Blue 6, and then this one here is 7. Yeah, so 7 for 7, wow. Yeah, but I always liked the Dodge Charger over the Challenger as far as just a very practical, fun, badass car to go up and down the road. But I always liked the Challenger because the Challenger always had the look. I was never a Dodge Charger fan from the 70s. I thought they were ugly. The 60s, yeah, but the 70s, no. So, and this is the 392 6.4 liter, 485 horsepower. I think it's 445 foot-pounds of torque. And I mean, it scoots down the road. The only negative of this car is you just can't really boost it by much. And that irritated the hell out of me back in 2015 and 16 because I had really nice cars. And if I could have hit 550, 600 horsepower, I don't know if I would have gotten rid of them. Even back then, I questioned myself getting rid of those really nice cars just to go into more debt, higher car payments, and I just thought, and even after I got the Hellcats, it's like, these are really nice, but these are so much fun. I mean, these cars hang with the Hellcats up to about 80, 80-ish miles an hour. If you really, or I'm not talking about the red eyes, I'm talking about more about just, these things just hang. There's not really the separate. I've raced them. I've raced these SRTs and these Scat Packs in my Hellcats, and it's not like you just blow the guy away. You gotta get into the 100 mile an hour. You have to sit hitting 100 miles an hour to really start separating yourself. But then, you know, you're into the crazy speeds, and that turns into, if you get busted, it's not gonna be pretty. No sunroof. Pretty incredible how much this car was. It's just incredible, even for me to buy it. If I remember right, I traded the smoke show for this car. And then I kind of regretted it because Julia was going to drive it. And then I swear I went back like a month later and I bought it back. And I don't think I actually traded anything for it. And then, and the running joke was, my friend Chris put a big ding in the door. And so since I put a ding in the door, and I got rid of it. So then, a short time went by, and the Ram TRX came available. And we had to use the smoke show to be able to get the deal done for the Ram TRX. So then the whole idea was that Julia was going to get the Ram TRX and let go of the smoke show, because she was very hesitant to wanting to let go of that smoke show. But then she eventually came around, and I told her she wants to drive the Ram TRX. She can drive the Ram TRX, and she just never really turned into my truck. Just never really. The race truck. What really started happening then was her F450 dually, the Ram Mega Cab. All those things were her like more favorite vehicles, so she drove those. So then I started driving the Ram TRX. Alright, here we go down the road as I talk to you once again another day. Just keeping the channel going, and nothing special to tell you really. I already yabba-dabba dude about all the promises that are broken. Promises are made to be broken. Who doesn't know that story?